This is Science Max, Experiments at Large. Science Max! Greetings, Science Maximites. I am Phil McCordick, and this is Science Max, Experiments at Large. Today, we're going to be experimenting with the balloon-powered car. Here's how it works. Woohoo! It all has to do with Newton's third law.
Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
We don't have to do this now. This is all for later. We can build the cars first, and then we can, let's go over here. So how do you build a balloon-powered car? Well, I suggest you be Science Maximites, because there's any number of ways you can build a balloon-powered car. You do not have to follow my design. You should come up with one of your own. It may even be better than the one I built. But I will give you some tips, though, that make it a lot easier. First of all, you need something to stick your balloon on that has an opening on it. I used a turkey baster for this car. I just pop the top off, and remember to tell an adult that you're using the turkey baster. And then you stick the balloon on there, and it allows you to attach something to the car, and it also makes it easier to blow up the balloon. You can use any number of things, even just any kind of tube that you find lying around. It helps you attach the balloon to the car, and it helps you blow up the balloon way easier. The other thing you should think about when you make your balloon-powered car is how you're going to make the wheels roll. Once you've decided on the base of the car, you could use anything, even just a piece of cardboard like this. You can do your wheels in two ways. The first way is to attach the wheels to the axle. This is how I made the axle of this car. I used a shish kebab skewer, and I stuck it inside a straw, just like that. And then I attached the lids to the shish kebab skewer. So the lids and the shish kebab skewer are attached, and they rotate in the straw. That's one way to make the wheels turn. The other way is to tape down the axle or whatever you're going to use and have the wheels spin around on the axle. Two great ways to make your wheels turn, and it really kind of depends on the wheels you're using. You can make your own design and keep refining it and making it better and faster, or do what I like to do and make a whole bunch of different cars. So we've got this one. This one I made out of paper plates, and this is a snorkel. Awesome. This one is the rock car, because there's a rock on it. I've got the dragster model. It's a long broom handle, and it might not work that well, but who knows? And this is my favorite design. It's made out of waffles and an ice cube tray. This is why I make a whole bunch of different cars, because I can race them.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday at the Science Maxidrome. It's the balloon-powered car winner-take-all drag race of awesome.
First up, the Eliminator. Woohoo!
Better late than never, it's the procrastinator. Crushing the competition, it's the Terminator. Feel the chill of the refrigerator.
All right!
And last but not least, the, regurgitator.
Well, when you build your balloon-powered cars, you can figure out what worked or what didn't work and try modifying your designs to make them work even better. That is science. And now we're gonna max it out, because this is Science Max, Experiments at Large. So we're gonna take that small balloon-powered car that we just built, and we're gonna make it much, much bigger. I'm gonna go to the Center for Skills Development and Training, and we're gonna use the science behind this small balloon-powered car and we're gonna make it big. That science is Newton's third law, but there's plenty of
third law.
no, there's,
For every action,
there's
there is
plenty
an
of time
equal
for this
and
later. We're not
opposite
doing
reaction.
we're not doing this bit now. We're doing that bit in a minute, so we could. No, I said we're doing it later. We're doing it later. Here. Whoa. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Phil.
This is Sarah, and she's got a master's degree in physics from McMaster University.
That's right.
And we're going to be talking about Newton's third law. Oh, look out, duck! Sorry. There was a sign that kept coming in. Never mind. Newton's third law. Well, what is that?
For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Right, so how does that work with our balloon car?
Ah, cool. Okay, so if you blow up the balloon, what's gonna happen when you release it is the air is gonna push out with a certain force, which in turn is gonna cause the cart to move forward with the exact same force.
Yeah, works great. So how come it doesn't work with my rock cart?
Ah, wow. Well, actually, it did work. So the balloon still pushes with the exact same force, which causes the cart to have the exact same force push forward, but your rock is really heavy, so you probably didn't see it move.
Oh, so a lighter cart works better with the same amount of force.
That's it.
Well, there you go. Newton's third law. What?
Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
I'm really starting to dislike that sign.
Phil, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Our small balloon-powered car works because of Newton's third law. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. The air pushing out the balloon this way pushes the car with the same amount of force this way. So, in order to max it out, the plan is just to get a bigger wheeled cart and a much bigger balloon. So, everything should work out the same.
Okay, so sorry. Oh, I thought what we would do is in order to max out the balloon-powered car, what we need is a cart to start with, and then I ride it. And we have a giant balloon, and then I go.
Do you have a giant balloon?
Ha 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 ha! Giant balloon! So, step one, Sarah blows up the balloon.
Okay.
Wait. Use this air compressor, it'll probably be a lot faster.
Sarah and I get to work blowing up the balloon, and it takes a long time. A very long time.
Okay, human-sized balloon-powered car test. Take one. All right, Sarah?
You got it?
Yeah. Okay, let it go.
Okay, go!
Let it go.
You did.
You did let it go.
I had to let go.
Nothing is happening.
It's not coming out fast enough, and you're a bit too massive. I don't think it's gonna work like this.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Balloon-powered car test 2. No fill. I'll just take it. What happened?
I don't think it worked. The balloon popped. Phil, are you okay?
This is why you wear protective eyewear. Yeah. So, that didn't work.
No.
No. Should we get another balloon?
I think we need something else.
Okay, well, the air coming out of the balloon just didn't have enough force, so.
We need the air to come out with more force.
Yeah, do we get, what, a bigger balloon?
I don't think that's gonna work. I don't think it's that. I think we need something with compressed air.
Oh, like a scuba tank or a...
Fire extinguisher, something like that. Yeah, that's what we need.
Okay, sure. Well, we can, all right, so I don't know if that's safe to do that, so we'd have to build like a cage or
Yeah,
something?
I don't know if it's gonna work on this.
All right, well, back to the drawing board. So
Okay.
what we should do is we should get
We need to find these tanks.
get the tanks, and then we make like a frame out of aluminum or something.
Okay, that could work.
Yeah,
That's a
they
good
can hold the
idea.
tanks, so
Yeah.
they're safe. And then what we should do is...
Who was Isaac Newton? He was a mathematician and probably #1 on the list of top scientists of all time. Albert Einstein said, Isaac Newton was the smartest person that ever lived. You've got to be special if Einstein is calling you smart. Newton's 3 laws of motion was a huge idea, but did you know Newton also came up with the idea of gravity? The famous story is that in 1666, Isaac Newton was sitting under an apple tree when he watched an apple fall and wondered why. Hey everyone, I just invented gravity, which was a big relief because up until then, everyone was just floating around. Okay, so it didn't happen like that. He didn't invent gravity. He gave a name to this invisible force and then described how it works. Not only did it make things fall down, but it was the same force that kept the moon circling the Earth and the Earth circling the sun. And he invented a new kind of math to explain how. We now call it calculus. See? I told you he was smart. He's very smart. This is hydrophobic coating. Hydrophobic literally means afraid of water, but it's not actually afraid of water. The chemistry of a hydrophobic coating prevents water molecules from penetrating anything you spray it on. You can get this stuff at the hardware store, and if you want, be Science Maximites and get an adult and think of the coolest thing you could spray with hydrophobic coating. I like to use things that do not go well when you put them in water, like tissue. Yeah, doesn't look great when it gets wet. Here's a tissue coated in hydrophobic coating. Huh? Weird. Or it works the same with a paper towel. Paper towel in water, paper towel covered in hydrophobic coating, stays dry. Or how about a dinner roll? Dinner rolls really don't like water. See? Gross. But a dinner roll coated in hydrophobic coating? Weird. Just don't eat it. Now, it's time to max it out. I have coated half of my lab coat in hydrophobic coating, and the other half I have not. Hydrophobic coating, regular lab coat. Half of me is wet, and half of me is dry. What's more, half of my outfit ended up being wet and half dry because the lab coat was protecting my outfit from getting wet. Now it's time to max it out even more. We have coated my entire outfit in hydrophobic spray. My shirt, my pants, and my lab coat. The pants have been taped to rubber boots, so no water's getting in there. And my shirt has been taped to my pants, so no water's getting in there. So here's the question. Can I get into the pool and out of the pool and stay dry? Let's find out. In the pool, out of the pool, and I'm still mostly dry. Now here's what really happened. I got into the pool, and I realized I should have duct taped the pocket, because all the water went in there, down into the rubber boots, started filling up the rubber boots, and now my entire leg is full of water because the hydrophobic coating isn't letting it come out. So the hydrophobic coating isn't keeping the water out. Now it's keeping the water in. Let's take a closer look at Newton's third law.
Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
Okay. All right, let's watch it back.
When the sign hits me, I exert a force on the sign in the opposite direction. That makes the sign stop moving. It also exerts an equal force on me, causing me to fly off in this direction.
Now, if I was to push this sign, I'm not only pushing the sign this way, but my feet are pushing against the ground in the opposite direction. It's, well, it's really easier to see if I'm not standing on the ground. No, hold on. Okay, so, huh? Oh, okay. So now that I'm hanging, watch. I push on the sign, but when I exert force on the sign to make it go this way, I go that way. Well, actually, it doesn't work as well because the sign isn't as heavy as I am. So wait, I have this over here. This is a barrel, and it has stuff in it, and it weighs as much as I do. Okay, so watch. If I push on the barrel like that, I go away from it as much as it goes away from me. So, there you have it. Newton's
third...
No, hold on. Newton's
third law.
Newton's third law. Okay, go.
Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
So, using a giant balloon to push me on a cart didn't work. And
What happened?
the plan now is to use a compressed gas cylinder. Just like a balloon, these cylinders contain a lot of air. If we get a cart and put a gas cylinder in a cage for safety on the back and open the valve, the escaping air might have enough force to push me.
This is 2 cubic meters of air. If we were to put it in a balloon, the balloon would be this big. But if we compress the air, we can fit it all into one of these, a steel tank. This is what we're gonna be using next for our air-powered car. Got it?
Yep.
All right,
Good.
so Sarah and I have been hard at work and we've built the air-powered cart. We can't call it a balloon-powered cart anymore because now we've got a compressed air tank, so it's not a balloon that powers it.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm gonna sit on here, Sarah's gonna turn on the tank, and I'm gonna go. And before we do this, we should say, do not, under any circumstances, try this at home. We are trained professionals. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, high five first. Okay, now we do it.
Okay, so before I turn the tank on, make sure your feet are down and the brakes are on.
Gotcha.
Don't take them off till I say go.
You have got it.
All right.
Ready?
Okay.
Yeah!
It worked.
Yeah, it did work, but I feel like it could work better.
You want to go faster?
I do want to go faster. This reminds me of the rock car.
Yeah.
Where we didn't have a big enough balloon.
We need more force.
We need more force. So should we get a bigger tank?
Let's get more tanks.
More?
More tanks, more force. You're gonna go faster forward, Newton's third law.
Newton's third law, high five. All right, let's do it.
All right.
Whoa. This is Newton's cradle, and it's a really cool toy that demonstrates all kinds of laws of motion, including Newton's third law. What you do is you pull this one ball out, and when it hits these balls, they exert force on that ball to make it stop moving, but it exerts force on these balls, which travels through the balls and makes this one on the end fly out, like that. Now, there's a lot going on here, but you can really see how the force is equal that you put in and you get out if you use 2 balls. I swing 2 balls up, and 2 balls go out that side. Isn't that cool? Now, it wouldn't be science max unless we maxed it out, so come on. Whoa, okay. This is one we built out of bowling balls. Bowling balls. Bowling balls. Instead of smaller balls, and I think it's gonna work the same way. Let's find out. You throw one out, and yeah, it works the same. Okay, now let's try it with 2 balls. Okay, ready? Wait. And 2 balls, throw them out. And 2 balls on that side. All right, so there you have it. Whoa. Newton's third law. Oh. Ah!
Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
So our single pressurized tank created enough force to move me, but not very fast. The plan now is to do 2 things. First, we're going to triple the amount of thrust by using 3 tanks. We're also going to use some pipes that lock into each other to give me an initial push. These pipes slide together, and when the air is turned on, the pressure in the pipes will cause them to slide apart, which will push me forward. After that, I use what's left in the tanks to keep going.
All right, now it's time to max it out. I've enlisted the help of a few more Science Max people. Thank you very much, Corey. You'll see now we have 3 tanks of compressed gas, and we've also got this nifty little contraption. How does this work, Sarah?
All right, so each tank is attached to a tube,
Yeah.
and you can see that each tube goes into this one main tube, so when we turn them on, pressure's gonna build up, and we're gonna go forward with more force.
Well, that's great. And Reed is stacking cinder blocks, thanks Reed, up so that will push, the pipe will push against the cinder blocks, and then I'll go
Or it goes
that
forward.
way. All right, well, are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Now, again, I have to say, thank you, Corey, I've got it. This is something you definitely don't want to try at home. We are all trained professionals. We have a physics degree here. We've got TV people that make sure that this is safe. So watch it and enjoy, but please don't try any of this at home. Okay, I'm ready. Sarah, count me down.
3,
Oh. That was awesome.
That was really awesome.
All right, high fives, high fives. Yeah. And it's raining now, so it looks like we're gonna have to stop. So thank you very much for joining us on Science Max Experiments at Large in our episode on Newton's third law.
Phil to Mission Control. Come in, Mission Control. This is Mission Control, Phil. We read you loud and clear. I would... Oh. Greetings, Science! Greetings, Science Maximites! Welcome to Science Max Experiments at Large. My name is Phil McCordick, and today we're gonna be building an air-powered rocket. Too difficult, you say? Nonsense, it's easy. It's not like it's rocket science. Hey, it is rocket science. Cool! Here's what you need. You need a bottle and a cork. Make sure that the cork fits nicely into the bottle, and then you need an air pump, because you can't have an air-powered rocket without air. And on this air pump, you need a pin, the special kind that you use to inflate basketballs or volleyballs or stuff like that. Now, what you want to do is push the pin through the cork. You might want an adult's help for this. Push it through until it goes through on the other side, and then make sure you get a good seal with the bottle. Now you're ready to launch your rocket with air pressure. But first, let's do a few other things. Take your cork and put it in a tripod launcher. You can make this out of pencils or anything you want, as long as it stands up nice and solidly. And then, of course, you want to decorate your bottle so it looks like a rocket. This is my rocket. Pretty good, right? So stick the bottle on the cork like before, like that. And then you stick the pin in the bottom. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna inflate the bottle with air pressure, and then it's gonna launch. Okay, here we go. You know, rocketry really isn't something you should do indoors. Come on. This was supposed to be a field. What's going... Why are there... Oh, it's in my shoe.
Oh, this will do nicely. Now, don't forget to do this with an adult, and don't forget your safety glasses. Now set up the rocket in a nice big open area, and make sure it's pointed away from you. And then what you do is you pump the air pump. And it puts air into the rocket, which pushes down on the water, which will push down on the cork, until eventually... So, be Science Maximites and come up with your own rocket design. Try different amounts of water, different fins, even a different size bottle. Try it for yourself and see if you can get one that goes higher than mine just did. How did I get in? I think it was this way.
Do you want step-by-step directions on how to build your own air-powered rocket? Well, don't worry. Everything you need is on our website.
All right, now it is time to max out our air-powered rocket. I've got Adam here. Hey, Adam.
Hey, Phil.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Adam's from Logix Academy, and you guys go into schools and talk about science.
We do.
Fantastic. Do you guys do a air-powered rocket?
Yes, exactly.
Does it look like this one?
Looks exactly like that.
Oh, that's great. So how do we max this out?
So we want to add more pressure to this bottle to try to get it to launch a little bit higher.
More air.
More air.
Great, so what do we do?
So we're going to use one of these.
Ooh.
It's an air compressor.
Right, which works a lot like the bike pump, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
So we're going to have compressed air coming from here through this tube into underneath here.
Yeah.
And out that nozzle there, and you're going to put your bottle on top.
And out the nozzle
like
into
that.
the bottle, like that.
Yep, and now we want to be able to hold it in place, so we're going to have these little fingers here that are actually going to work to hold it until we want to let it go. So we're going to lock it in place.
Oh yeah, look at that. Totally locked.
Exactly.
And then what? How do we launch
Now,
it?
you're going to take this cord and go a safe distance away, and we are going to pull it.
And then we would pull it. Which one do you want to start with?
I think we should use this one here.
Okay, great. Now we put water in it, right?
Yep, you're gonna put water in there.
Why do we use water?
So the water is gonna act to push the rocket up into the air. The compressed air in here is gonna shoot the water out the back, and the water is gonna push on the rocket and make it launch. It's just to give it a little extra push.
How do I get it on there without spilling any water?
So just rest it next to the
Just go
launcher
fast?
there. Yeah, just go really fast.
Ooh.
There you go.
There we
Raise
go.
A little bit.
Haha. And then
Lock it in place.
locking it in place. There's no
Okay.
air pressure in the hose yet, right?
Not yet, no.
First, we have to spool out the launch cord. So the air compressor has the compressed air in it. It's ready to go.
Yep, it's all ready to go. We just need to connect the hoses.
Adam, I've noticed it's snowing a little bit. Do you think that's any reason why we should stop?
I don't think so.
No, the science must go on. Blast shields down. Connecting hoses.
When we connect the air hose, the pressure from the compressor travels down the line and into the bottle. You can see the bubbles of air going in. Those bubbles are carrying more air into the bottle, giving it more pressure.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, another rocket. Let's do it again. Launching in 3, 2, 1. Woo! Nice. Success.
Success.
Nice. So, small bottle worked really well. How do we make it bigger? I know, bigger nose cone?
I think a bigger bottle.
Oh, bigger bottle. Yeah, of course, that's easy. How about this empty water bottle that we have now?
That might work, except that the top here is too big. I don't think it'll fit on our launcher.
Oh, yeah. So what should we use?
A 2-liter pop bottle might work a bit better because it'll be about the same size.
Oh, that's right. 2-liter pop bottles have the same opening as these small water bottles.
Exactly.
That's great. All right, let's make a couple rockets out of 2-liter pop bottles.
Awesome.
Pressure happens when you squeeze something or compress it. Solids do not compress very well. I will demonstrate. Solid? Is it compressing? No, okay. Liquids don't compress very well either. You can demonstrate this for yourself by getting a plastic water bottle and filling it right to the very top with water and putting on the cap and squeezing. You'll find that you can't really squeeze the bottle very much. But if you empty out half of the water, no, don't pour it on the floor, and then put the cap back on the bottle and try to squeeze it, you'll find that you can squeeze it a lot more. That's because gases compress much easier than solids or liquids. Here's what's going on. Say this container is, well, any container, and these magnets are air molecules. Now I'm gonna put the magnets in pole to pole so they repel each other and wanna stay a certain distance apart, just like air molecules do. There we go, a container at normal gas pressure. Now watch what happens when I add more gas molecules. They start to get squeezed together. And if I add more, the amount of space that each one gets is less and less. Now this container is under a lot of pressure. These molecules really want to escape through the top of the container, but they can't because I'm holding them down. If I took something like this plunger and I pushed them down even more, now they're really under pressure. They want to get out, but they can't because I'm holding them in. Now watch what happens when I let them go. They all pop out the top, and the container has returned to normal gas pressure. That's what happens when we put gas in a container like this one. These containers that hold compressed gas are made out of solid steel because you need something really strong or it might explode if you put too much gas pressure in it. That's why these are only filled up by professionals who know exactly how much pressure it can take. That is the power of pressure.
Our air-powered rocket was working pretty well, but there's always room to max it out. In order to do that, we need to understand how it works. First, we fill the bottle almost halfway with water, and then we add air to the bottle. The air pressure builds up, and the air presses down on the water. The rocket takes off when we pull on the release valve, which was blocking the opening of the bottle. Once that happens, the air pushes out the water. It's the water that gives us our thrust, so the water is very important. Once all the water is gone, the air escapes and the bottle returns to normal air pressure. But by that time, it's high in the sky.
Now the plan is to use 2-liter bottles instead of regular water bottles to see if they work better. Now we've made a few more rockets out of 2-liter bottles, and I'm gonna fill this one up with water, and we're going to fire it again and see what happens. Now, the idea is that these will work better because they have more volume, and more volume means we could possibly put more air pressure in. It's hard to know until you try it, of course. But the other reason why it might work better is 2-liter bottles generally hold carbonated beverages, which means they already have to be made a little stronger than regular water bottles because they have to hold in the carbonation, which is just like air pressure. All right, ready to go. Okay, here we go. You ready, Adam?
Yep.
Okay, blast shield down. Pressurize! 3, 2, 1. Let's do another one. And 3, 2, 1. Whoa! Wow! This is the superhero design rocket, which I'm very excited about. All right, Adam, it's going really well. But before we fire this next one, how can we make it bigger, better, and more awesome?
Get more pressure.
More pressure. How do we do that?
Well, we're firing at about 90 PSI right now.
PSI, pounds per square inch of pressure, right?
Yep. So we could increase it.
We could increase it. So we're at 90 now. How high does the tank go?
Go to about 120.
120 PSI. Let's see what happens.
All right, let's do
okay,
it.
here we go. 90, 110, 120. Should we fire it?
Let's fire it.
Let's fire it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right. Hey, actually, it worked okay. There's just a piece missing here, but I think the bottle is still okay.
Yeah.
So, 2-liter bottle, full pressure. I think we can still make something even better, even more maxed out. What if we used an even bigger bottle? You know the 5-liter ones that you see on a water cooler?
Yeah.
You think we can use one of those?
Definitely. I think we could use that. We need to change the mouthpiece size
right. Yes.
to fit our launchers.
Well, let's do it.
Do it.
Help, I'm being crushed by all this pressure. A whole kilogram is being pushed down on every square centimeter of my body. 103 kilopascals. Actually, 1 kilogram for every square centimeter on your body is the exact kind of pressure that you and I are under at all times every day. We don't notice it because we're used to it, but it sounds like a lot, doesn't it? Well, it is. Here's an experiment you can do with a plastic bottle. Say at room temperature, there are 10 million air molecules in here. Doesn't really matter how many, but we'll say there's 10 million at normal room temperature. What happens if I heat up the air inside this bottle? This is warm water. What I'm trying to do is heat up the air inside the bottle because the air molecules, when they get hotter, move faster and need more room. So the 10 million air molecules are starting to escape out the mouth of the bottle and reducing the number of air molecules inside. And now I take the bottle out and cap it. Because the air molecules heated up and speeded up, they needed more room. Now there's less of them in the bottle. There's about 4 million air molecules inside this bottle, but they're all hot air molecules and they have a higher pressure, and you don't notice it because the air out here isn't crushing the bottle. But watch what happens if I cool the air inside the bottle. This is ice water. So what's happening now is the molecules are slowing down and they need less space. So they need less room and they're being crushed by the pressure on the outside of the bottle. Ha-ha! It has been crushed because the colder air molecules don't need the same kind of room as the hot air molecules. The room temperature air has crushed the bottle. The air inside has a lower pressure than the air outside. Pretty amazing. Even more amazing when we max it out. This is a steel drum. What we've done is we put some water in it and we're heating it up to boiling so there's nothing but hot air inside the drum. This is an airtight cap, which we use to seal the drum. And now we cool the drum off. Hey, Trevor, give me a hand. Ready? 1, 2, 3, you lift! That's good. This pool is filled with ice. What we're doing now is cooling off the steel drum, which will cool off the air inside it. Which means, eventually, the air inside the steel drum will be a much lower pressure than the air outside the steel drum.
Because this steel drum has a lot more volume than a 2-liter pop bottle, it takes a lot longer for the air to cool down. The other thing to think about is that it's a steel drum. I could stand on it and it wouldn't even dent. But sure enough, after a few minutes...
Whoa! Check it out! The barrel has totally crushed. The low pressure air inside the barrel wasn't enough to withstand the force of the regular air pressure that you and I walk through every day. The air pressure all around us is enough to crush a steel drum. How cool is that?
Our air-powered rockets have been working really well, but we still want to go further. Since the 2-liter bottle worked better than the water bottle, we think increasing the size again might make it more awesome. So now the plan is to switch our 2-liter bottle with a 20-liter water cooler jug and make a rocket out of that. Because the launcher nozzle, which holds the bottle in place till we're ready to launch it, isn't going to fit the opening of this bigger jug, we've decided to use the cap that came with the jug. If we screw the cap on, it'll work sort of like the cork. The air pressure will press down on the water and keep pushing against the cap until the cap has a catastrophic failure, which is a very cool way of saying that eventually the cap will break and the bottle will shoot into the sky.
20-liter water cooler jug filled with some water. This is the cap that'll work sort of like the cork. We put the air pressure in there, the cap can't take it anymore, pops off, and the thing flies, hopefully. Let's find out. Okay, that looks good. There. Let's do this. Go for pressure! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Hilarious! That worked pretty well. It sort of does that. I wonder if it's aerodynamic.
No.
No. So, what else can we do to make it even more maxed out?
I think we've used the 2-liter bottles that work really well.
The 2-liter bottles are the best, right?
I think so.
So, what do we do?
I think we can probably stack them. If we stack them on top of each other.
Yeah.
That work.
I like that. So we put a whole bunch of them together.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I'll do you one better. Why don't we use 3 stacks?
Awesome.
We'll use 3 stacks, 3 launchers, 3 times the thrust, and we'll make a giant rocket out of 2-liter bottle.
Yeah, great idea.
High fives. Here we go. Gas molecules get further apart when you warm them up and closer together when you cool them down. So what happens if you keep cooling them down? Well, they turn into this. This is liquid nitrogen. Nitrogen makes up 78% of the air we breathe, but when you cool it down to minus 196 degrees Celsius, it turns into a liquid. It's boiling right now because at room temperature, nitrogen wants to be a gas. So the liquid nitrogen is turning into gaseous nitrogen, and all of the extra molecules are escaping through the top of the bottle. So what happens if I put a cap on the bottle? Right now, the liquid nitrogen is turning back into a gas, but because there's a cap on the bottle, the gas has nowhere to go. So the pressure is just gonna keep building and building until the plastic bottle can't contain it anymore, and it pops like a balloon. Science!
Our rockets have gone from small to bigger to even bigger. Now the plan is to use 3 2-liter bottles and create columns of them into a giant rocket. We pressurize them just like we did before, but with more thrust, it might work even better. Even if it doesn't work better, I'm pretty excited about this new plan.
Giant rocket! giant rocket. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, blast shields down. Connecting hose. Dialing up pressure. Pressure is rising. It's bubbling. Bubbling. 100 PSI. Okay, stand by to fire. 3, 2, 1. Whoa! Woo! Awesome! Yeah, let's go check it out. Well, there you have it. Rocket Science Max. Experiments at large. Well done. Nicely, nicely done. Do you think we could fire it again? Yeah, it looks like it needs some repairs, though. Greetings, Science Maximites. Today, we're going to be looking at air. I know, it's kind of hard to look at air because it's invisible. But we can look at something that uses air to move. That's right, paper airplanes! Ha-ha! Ha-ha! Look out! Woohoo! Believe it or not, you can learn all kinds of science from paper airplanes. So let's build some. We are going to do a paper airplane which actually holds the Guinness World Record for the longest paper airplane flight. Pretty cool, huh? First, you fold the paper in half like this, but then you open it back up again, and then you fold in the corners like this. Now, don't worry if this is really, really fast, because you have all the instructions on our website. Then you can fold the paper down like this, make sure it's about 2 centimeters from the bottom, where the point is there, and then you fold the corners in just like you did before. But these ones are just guide folds. We use guide folds to help us fold other folds, basically. Now, we fold again using the guide fold lines you just made. And I like to call this fold the shirt collar fold because it sort of looks like a shirt collar when you fold it. Now, we fold again on the fold that you made before. Folds in like that and in like that. And now we fold the point down to touch the edges right like that. And this is a guide fold, so do it very strong. Unfold it. Now you fold it in half like this. And see that guide fold line that we made there? What you're gonna do is you're gonna take the tip and you're gonna fold it in to touch the guide fold line like that. And this is also a guide, and open it up. And here's the trickiest part. See how it's bent like that? You push it open like this, and this is called a pocket fold because you wanna make a little pocket and push it up against there. Fold it flat like this. Fold this tip down over there like that. Then fold it around the back side. Then fold the wings down like this and like this. And here's the extra special bit. We're gonna use some stabilizers on this plane. Fold up the stabilizers on the ends of the wings, and ta-da, the Sky King paper airplane fold. Now, as Science Maximites, you know that there's lots of ways you can learn how to fold paper airplanes. Get an adult and look up paper airplane designs on the internet, or take a book out of the library on how to fold paper airplanes. And of course, this isn't Science Max, experiments at large, if we don't max it out. So that's right, we're gonna make a giant paper airplane. I'm going to the Ontario Science Centre to do just that. Uh-oh, that's never good.
Whoa, Phil, I'm so sorry. You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay, Justin. I never know where the portal's gonna spit me out. This is the Science Center, right?
Well, that's right. In fact, you've landed in our paper airplane laboratory.
This is what happens to me, Justin. I make a paper airplane, I fold it perfectly, but then it flies like that, or it does that, and I don't know how to fix it.
Okay, well, that will happen. But you know what? There are really only 3 ways your paper airplane can fly, and I can teach you how to control each and every one of them.
Great, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right.
Science Max presents How to Fly Your Paper Airplane. Is your paper airplane spinning around and around? Well, that's what you call roll, chum. Roll is what you call it when any plane moves like this or like this. Here's how to fix it. Bend up the back of one wing to create more lift on one side, and it'll balance out. Happy days.
Okay, so let me try mine.
What's that? Your airplane goes straight up or straight down? Sounds like you have a problem with pitch. Sorry, pitch. Pitch is when your airplane moves like this or like this. To fix it, bend the ends of both wings up if you pitch down, or down if you pitch up. Adding a weight to the nose also helps if you've got a problem with high pitch. Sorry, high pitch.
Great, great, your turn.
All right, here we go.
Is your plane turning this way or that way? Yeah. Yeah? No. Yeah. Yeah is when your plane moves like this or like this. To fix it, bend the back of the plane like the rudder of a boat.
Okay, great. Let me try mine. Not bad. You try yours.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty cool.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
You know what? Are you ready to build a giant paper airplane?
I think I am.
Fantastic. I just need to get one more expert. I will be right back.
Cool.
Hey, David, how you doing?
Hey, good.
Good. So David's going for his Masters of Applied Science.
In aerospace science and engineering.
So you know all about planes.
I do.
Great.
Yeah.
So what does this have to do with planes? What is this?
So this is a water channel, and it allows us to test airplanes in it before we put them in the sky.
Great. We'll have my airplane, and we'll just put it in here, and we'll test it.
Please, it's made of paper.
Yeah?
And in the water, it becomes soggy.
Well, how do we test our paper airplane if we can't put it in the water?
Well, this is a classic airfoil shape.
Yes. Now, is that what you call it, airfoil?
An airfoil, yeah. So the cross-sectional shape of a wing is called an airfoil.
Okay.
And that's what generates the lift. Fortunately, air and water are both fluids, so they behave in the same way. I could push ink into the water, and that's going to allow us to see how the fluid flows over the aircraft. So if you tilt its nose up a little bit, you'll be able to see that the shape of the airfoil is actually pushing the water downwards.
Oh, yeah, you're
And-
right. The ink doesn't go straight. It
Yeah,
follows the wing
It follows
down.
the shape of the wing down, and we have a lower pressure on the top of the wing and a higher pressure on the bottom of the wing, which pushes it upwards.
Right, and
generating lift.
that creates lift.
Exactly.
So you guys use this all the time in aerospace?
Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty
Absolutely.
neat. So, are you ready to design an even bigger plane, a giant paper plane?
I'm confident we can do a good job.
I am excited about it. Let's do it right now. The big paper's over this way. This way. Okay.
Here's the plan. Take a giant piece of paper and fold the exact same airplane we did in the lab. The small one flew. The large one should too, right? Well, let's find out.
I believe we are ready to make our giant paper airplane. All we need is a giant piece of paper! Yeah! Okay, be very careful getting off it. Whoa! All right, let's fold it. Nose on that side. Okay.
Remember, we're folding the exact fold we did in the lab, only on a larger scale.
We have a tape malfunction down here.
But it's a lot harder to do with a giant piece of paper.
Fantastic. That's pretty good.
Okay. There.
Perfect.
Yeah. Giant paper airplane! Ha ha!
This doesn't look too much like an airplane.
No, it's way too floppy.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe it just needs, like, when I throw it, maybe it'll catch the winds, and then the wings will come up like that.
Yep. Maybe.
Like, I'll just.
Give it a try, Phil.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a try. Giving it a try. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay, here we go. Wow. What do you think?
Oh man.
I think we can make some improvements.
It sort of felt like a bed sheet. I feel if I just threw my lab coat, it'd probably look. Let me just see. Okay, ready? Yeah, it looks pretty much the same, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, I didn't know this, but when you fold paper that big, it sort of behaves like fabric.
Yeah, very, very floppy.
Very floppy. What if we supported the plane like we put struts or something in it, like this stick? If we put it on the wings, it'll stop it from being so floppy.
Right, and you can tape it on.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
We need bigger sticks.
Yeah.
Really lightweight.
Like
Like
foam.
Yeah,
stuff?
and like hollow tubes.
Hollow tubes.
Hollow
Good.
tubes.
Good. So we'll put a whole bunch on there. We'll tape them on so that it doesn't flop around.
Yeah.
We'll try it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's go.
All right.
Bernoulli's theorem states that faster moving air has lower pressure than slower moving air. You can demonstrate this yourself with a ping pong ball and a hairdryer. You put the ping pong ball on the stream of air from the hairdryer, and because it's moving quickly, it has lower pressure than the air around it. So the low pressure air works sort of like a force field, and you can defy gravity with your floating ping pong ball. Awesome! But of course, this is Science Max Experiments at Large, so we have to max it out with a giant hairdryer and a giant ping pong ball. Sorry, I said science! You probably couldn't hear me because of the... So, our giant paper airplane turned out to be really floppy. When paper is that large, it doesn't hold together very well. What we're going to do is take foam and long sticks and tape it to the large paper airplane wherever we need to give it support. So, here, and here, here, and a bunch there, and maybe some over there. Well, it turned out we needed to reinforce in a lot of places.
Put that in there, and then that. Great, look at that. It's not even flopping around. It stands under its own weight. Huh?
There's a whole bunch of stuff on it. I don't know if it's gonna fly so well.
Oh, it's gonna be. Well, I mean, I have to put the stuff on it so it doesn't flop around.
But there's like really a lot of stuff.
Well, I needed this foam to reinforce this foam, and then I needed the cardboard to reinforce both of those.
Phil, there's a giant hole in the wing.
Well, I can fix that. Just move your head, and then I'll just.
Phil, there's a lot of stuff on here.
There.
But like it's really a lot.
Problem solved.
Guys, let's just fly it.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah, let's do it. All right.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Maiden voyage of the Mark II giant paper airplane. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. So it went about 3 feet. So that didn't work.
I told you, too much stuff.
You did. He told me that.
He said that.
He said that.
What we need is something that's stiffer without as much stuff on it.
But the paper, it's too floppy, so you have to put the stuff on.
Right.
How about some cardboard? Cardboard's nice and stiff, and technically it's paper.
You're right, cardboard. Let's make it out of cardboard.
Yeah.
Cardboard, all right. Oh, yeah, it's over here. Tornadoes are giant weather systems that cause the air to go around and around. Tornadoes can be pretty dangerous, but they don't happen that often. Here's how you can make your own small pet tornado you can play with at home. Because air and water behave similarly, we can make a water tornado. You spin it around, get it going, and ta-da, your very own pet tornado. Here's how you do it. You take two 2-liter plastic bottles and fill one with water and some blue food coloring, is what I like to do, and then tape the mouths of the bottles together. You might need an adult to help you with this because you want to make sure the bottles are perfectly aligned. Then flip it over, spin it around to get it going, and voila, your very own pet tornado. Awesome. And now we're gonna max it out with a giant tornado chamber. Hey, Michaela.
Hey, Phil.
So this is your giant tornado. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So I made one with plastic bottles and water, but this one uses air, just like real tornadoes do in the wild.
That's right.
So how does this work?
Well, here we have a platform, but underneath that there's a fog machine that's pushing the fog up. And we've created an updraft because there's a fan at the top that's pushing air out of the top.
And also, we're trying to mimic the intense winds you'd get from a tornado with these pillars that are shooting out air in this direction.
So it goes around in a circle.
Yeah, in real life, tornadoes are pretty rare. You need a perfect set of conditions to see them. You need warm, humid air and cold, dry air, and as well some intense winds that you usually get from thunderstorms.
Science! If I was to drop this light basketball and this heavy workout ball at the same time, which do you think will hit the ground first? Let's find out. They landed at the same time. That's because everything falls at the same rate. It doesn't matter how heavy or how light something is. Until things are falling fast enough that air friction or drag starts to play a factor. Soon, things reach their top speed. This top speed is called terminal velocity. It means I could throw this basketball from an airplane and it might not be going any faster than if I threw it from, say, 10 stories up. I'm gonna find out what the terminal velocity is for both of these objects when we max this out. Ninja science roll! Here's how terminal velocity works. Everything falls at the same rate, going faster as gravity pulls it down. But when things start going so fast that just pushing through the air at that speed creates as much force as the pull of gravity, things reach a top speed and they won't go any faster. How heavy something is and how much air it pushes both play a factor in its top speed. And that top speed is called terminal velocity. How cool is that? I'm at iFly Toronto. This is a giant wind tunnel, and they've got the wind going fast enough that they can't fall any faster. It's the terminal velocity for a human being. I'm gonna take our weighted ball and our basketball and place them both here in the wind chamber. This is the control panel, which is what they use to control the wind speed inside the chamber. And this is Derek, who's gonna be operating it. And that is Mike and Greg, and they're inside the chamber. All right, let's fire it up.
All right, firing it up.
35, 58, nothing happening yet. This number here is the one we're looking at to see how fast the air is moving. 86, something's starting to happen. Oh, 89, wind speed of basketball, 89 kilometers an hour. At 89 kilometers per hour, the wind is going fast enough that the friction of the wind and the pull of gravity balance out, making the basketball float. This means you could throw a basketball out of an airplane and it would never go any faster than 89 kilometers per hour.
All right, let's keep increasing the speed. 106, 124 kilometers an hour, 140, 150. Oh, 166, almost. 172, whoa. Wind speed of the heavy red ball, 173 kilometers an hour.
Because the red ball is heavier than the basketball, we need a lot more wind speed to counteract the force of gravity before they cancel out and the ball floats. Here's something else that's going on that's cool. Mike is flying, but Greg is not. That's because Mike is lying down, which means he's catching a lot more wind than Greg is, who's standing straight. If Mike stays lying down, his terminal velocity is the same as the red ball, 173 kilometers per hour. But Greg's velocity would have to be a lot faster.
And that's science!
So the giant paper airplane hasn't been working so well. The problem is paper can't hold up its own weight when it's that large. Cardboard is much stronger than paper, so we've decided to rebuild the plane out of cardboard.
All right, Phil, hoist it up.
Then we take it to the roof of the Science Center and see if we can get it to fly.
Oh, woo! There you go, our Mark III model paper airplane. Now I know it's made out of cardboard, but cardboard is technically paper, and it's the only thing strong enough to hold a plane of this size together. We even had to put some poles in so the wings still wouldn't flap, but we're pretty confident this is gonna work. Okay.
All right, Phil, we're in position.
Now, don't try this at home. Our roof has a big wall on the edge. Your roof does not. Our first attempt didn't go so well. Looks like we have a bit too much pitch. Our second attempt still had a bit too much pitch. Time to add some weight to the nose.
We added some clips to the front to give it a little bit more weight on the nose, which is important. Although at this point, I kind of wish there was less weight. Whoa, okay, all right.
Phil, that was great!
Woo! All right! Woo! This throw worked best, but I know what you're thinking. Why didn't it sail through the air like a normal paper airplane does? Well, that's because the other thing heavy planes need to fly is thrust. So we could put an engine on our plane, but then we'd have to use something stronger than cardboard, and well, pretty soon we'd have an actual plane. But this isn't about making a full-size plane. This is
Largest paper airplane I've ever thrown! Woo! Hey, you guys are great! The plane is great! Thank you very much for watching Science Max Experiments at Large. Where were the stairs? Yeah. Oh, never mind, I found them.
Greetings, Science Maximites. My name is Phil, and welcome to Science Max Experiments at Large. We're gonna be making one of the easiest and one of the hardest experiments to do. Here's what we're gonna make: a hot air balloon. And it's pretty easy to make. That's why it's one of the easiest experiments. All you need is a plastic bag, but not any plastic bag. The kind of plastic bags you get at the grocery store to put your fruit in. That kind of plastic is very thin, very light, good for hot air balloons. And you just want to put 2 paper clips on the bottom of the bag to hold the bottom down. Now here's the other thing you need. You need an adult and a hairdryer. Turn the hairdryer on, put the heat on the highest setting and the fan on the lowest setting. The air inside the bag is getting hotter, which means the molecules are moving faster and they're getting further apart, which means there's going to be less of them in the same space. Less molecules means less weight, and that means it's going to be lighter. The bigger the difference in temperature between the air inside the bag and the air outside the bag, the better it's going to work. So I recommend doing this outside, actually, on a cold day. When it's been long enough, turn the hairdryer off and it will float. Haha. Now it won't float very long because the air inside the bag will quickly return to its original temperature and it will no longer be any lighter than the air outside the bag. But it's definitely fun to fly for a while it lasts. So that's what we're gonna do today on Science Max Experiments at Large. We're gonna max out the hot air balloon and make a giant hot air balloon. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Phil, they already exist. Why don't you just get a giant hot air balloon? I mean, they're big and you... No. There's no fun in that. I want to make one I built myself. I don't think I'm going to be able to fly in it, but it'll still be pretty cool, I bet. I just need someone to help me. Oh, I know. Michaela from the Ontario Science Centre. Hopefully she's not busy. Hey, Michaela, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I was wondering if I could get your help with an experiment. Do you have some time?
Yeah, I'd love to help out.
Awesome.
Sure.
Okay, let's go back to Science Max headquarters and I'll show you what we're gonna do. Okay,
Nice.
So ready? Here we go.
Oh, no, still here. Still here.
Why are we still here? That's weird. Okay, oh, I know. No? Why is the code not working?
I think it's the Science Center code. Try the
Oh, it's the lab code. Right.
Phil, are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. So, Michaela, I'm glad you're here because today I want to max this out. This is my hot air balloon. It was better before. I smushed it in my pocket, but what I did is I used a hairdryer, and then I put it in and I heated the air, and then it rises up. So in order to max it out, pretty simple. I just get larger bags, right? And then I thought we could cut them and tape them together to make a much larger balloon.
It's a good idea, but you know, if we're making a hot air balloon, we need to make sure our materials are really light. The duct tape seems a little heavy. Even this bag seems a little heavy to me.
In terms of, oh, you mean
terms of
the
weight.
kind of plastic it is?
Yeah,
Might be a little bit.
it seems really thick, this one.
Well, do you know for sure?
I've never tried it before.
All right, well, that's science. We should try it and see what happens.
Let's try it.
Okay, so I'll cut along the side of the bag. You see that? Carbon dioxide gas. Our bodies breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. Did you see it? Oh, take another look. How about now? No, you didn't see it, right? Because carbon dioxide is invisible unless you freeze it. This is dry ice, frozen carbon dioxide. And this is wet ice. It's not really called wet ice. It's frozen water. Now, you know what temperature water freezes at? Starts with a 0, ends with a, well, it's actually 0 degrees Celsius. And this freezes at -79 degrees Celsius. It's much colder. I have to hold onto it with a glove because if I held onto it with my bare hands, I get frostbite. So here's the experiment. If I pour some liquid water on the dry ice, will it freeze again? Let's find out. Because the dry ice is so much colder than the freezing point of the water begins to freeze from the bottom up in room temperature air right before our eyes. Whoa! Totally frozen! Cool! Cool. In order to build our hot air balloon, Michaela and I are taking clear garbage bags, cutting them along the seams so they end up as one thin sheet of plastic, and taping them all together with duct tape into a balloon. Okay, so that's
Nice.
how many bags is that?
It's like 12 bags.
Well, so you think that's big enough?
I think so. It's pretty big.
Okay, I think we can stop there. Okay, so where's the opening again?
I think it's on your side.
I hope you didn't duct tape it close. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. So it's going to inflate like this. Wait a minute. Let's make sure it works. Is it working?
Kind of.
I don't know if it's inflating. Okay, good. So it does inflate. It does hold air.
Yeah.
Right? So should we try it?
Yeah, let's try it.
Okay, so we're gonna use a hairdryer. Right? And now we wait. It's working.
Kind
right?
of.
Oh, yeah.
Woohoo.
Okay, it's almost inflated.
All right.
Okay, what do you think?
Yeah, let's try it.
Okay, on the count of 3, we'll throw it, okay?
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3. It didn't quite.
Not quite.
Doesn't quite float, huh?
It's still so heavy, Phil. I think we got a couple problems here. The duct tape is really heavy.
Yep.
Also, these bags themselves are really heavy.
Okay, well, if we want to fix the duct tape problem, we could use lighter tape. Like, what if, we use invisible tape, or as I like to call it, science tape.
Science tape.
Which would be lighter than duct tape.
That's a good plan.
But what do we do about the bags?
Have you ever seen those, those dry cleaning bags?
Oh, wait, I've got one. I've got one here.
Cool. Perfect.
Aha!
Yeah, perfect.
Because, when I get my lab coats dry cleaned, so let me see here. Oh yeah, this is much lighter. This is kind of the same material as the grocery store fruit bags, right?
I have a better feeling about this one.
So lighter tape, lighter bag means a much lighter balloon. Okay, well, let's try it. First, I should probably take my lab coat out. This is water. Now, it's ice water. Science! Okay, no, that's not the science part. Here's something you can do at home. Get some ice water and a way to time yourself and stick your hand in the ice water. It's a little hard to stick your hand in ice water for a long period of time because after a while, it starts to hurt. But don't worry, the pain that you're feeling isn't actually because you're damaging anything. It's just your body's way to tell you that you need to take your hand out of the cold water. Yeah, you usually can't do it for very long. But some animals, like seals and whales, they live in ice water all the time. They live in the Arctic, so how do they do it? One word, blubber. Blubber is a layer of fat that protects you from the cold, or protects a seal and a whale. We don't have blubber, but we are today gonna have some blubber, because we're gonna make a blubber glove. Blubber glove, I love saying that. Here's how we do it. First, we want blubber. Okay, this isn't blubber, this is lard, which is actually animal fat. You can use lard, you can use margarine or butter or shortening, anything with a lot of fat in it. And remember, this is messy, so definitely get an adult to help you. So we've got our lard, and we need a bag. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a scoopful of lard, like this. And you're gonna put it in the bag, like so. Like that. There we go. And then you're gonna start smoothing out the blubber or the lard like this. Because what you wanna do is have a nice thin layer all the way around. See? Starting to work? Yeah. Then seal the bag and tape the edges. Huh? A square of blubber. Then do it again. Here, I have 2 bags of blubber, and I've taped all the way around the outside. So I have, a blubber glove. Check it out. So, let's try it out. I stick the blubber glove in the ice water. It's completely working. It is not even cold. The blubber is completely protecting my hand from the ice water. I'm not even remotely cold at all. That is very fun. So, try it yourself. A blubber glove. Now, how do we max out a blubber glove? Watch. Water, ice water. I know for a fact that I wouldn't last more than 10 seconds in here without my blubber suit. I'm gonna make an entire outfit of blubber. I've got them in large plastic bags, and I'm going to get completely suited up in blubber with the help of Trevor and Stephanie. Okay, guys, suit me up. It's very heavy. Let's just go like this. Oh, okay. Time to cut back on the cookies. All right, let's do it. All right. Blubber suit, go! I can't. Okay. Oh, here we go. And... okay, so far. Oh. The legs are warm. And... oh. Blubber suit! Ha ha ha! I am in seals! Actually, here I am in the ice, and I don't feel too bad. Blubber suit works! Ah, blubber suit's refreshing, actually. You just sit back and chill out. Well, there you go. Blubber suit success. Seals and whales are able to stay in ice water for their whole lives because they have protective layers of blubber, just like I do. Okay, so now all I have to do is get out. Blubber suit! Oh no! My blubber is leaking! Ah, I've sprung a leak! My blubber! Oh, my precious blubber! No, what a world! Oh, hey, how you doing? Shut the door, it's cold out there. Cold enough for you, huh? Well, that's nothing. Let me tell you. You know what temperature water freezes at? Yeah, 0 degrees Celsius. But even that is nothing. Let's say it's winter in Winnipeg. It could get down to -20, maybe even -40. But even that's nothing. Liquid nitrogen, -196 degrees Celsius. But even that's nothing. The vacuum of space, -271 degrees Celsius. But even that's nothing. So, what's the coldest temperature? What's the coldest temperature you can have? It's called Absolute zero, minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. At that temperature, all the little wiggling that particles do comes to a stop. Everything is frozen. No more movement, no more energy. Everything stops. It doesn't get any colder than that. Absolute zero is the ultimate nothing. Brr, time to get your mittens on.
Our first hot air balloon didn't float very well.
It's still too heavy, Phil. I think we got a couple problems here.
So we're making a lighter version out of dry cleaning bags and science tape, both lighter materials than our last version. We also went for more of a square shape than our last version, which kind of looked like a sock. Once we were done assembling, we got the hairdryer and tried it again.
Ooh, it's sort of working.
Kinda.
It's inflating. That's something.
It's a start.
It feels warm, like the hairdryer is actually making a lot of warm air in there.
Yeah.
This is definitely working better than the last version because it's so much lighter.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Almost got it.
Oh,
Yeah, it's sort of working, right?
cool. Kind of.
Okay. Ready?
Are we testing it?
Turning off the hairdryer. Huh. It kind of collapses the moment we turn off the hairdryer.
Not what we expected, was it?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it sort of works.
The thing is, our balloon is so big that we need to heat up all of the air that's in there. I don't know if this hairdryer is strong enough.
I think you might be right. So we just need something else that pushes heat.
Yeah, more heat.
So
More
like
power.
a heater of some sort. You know, we've got some heaters up in this room actually, and maybe I could just tear one out. We can use that.
I like it.
Okay.
Let's do it. All right.
There.
Got it.
An industrial heater. And this is going to work just the same as our hairdryer. It's going to blow a lot of hot air up here, but this is way more effective than a hairdryer, right?
Yeah, way more powerful.
So we put the balloon over here, hot air comes up, the balloon inflates, and hopefully flies.
Hopefully.
All right, let's get the balloon.
So we put the balloon on the heater and turned it on. But
Doesn't seem like much is happening.
that's because the heater pushes less air, but the air is much hotter, which means it took longer,
Should we have brought a book?
but soon it was inflating.
Definitely a better result than the hairdryer.
Okay, you ready? I think it's gonna work.
Can we also?
All right,
Yep.
1, 2, 3, let go.
Lift off.
Yeah, it's like a giant jellyfish.
That's huge.
Uh-oh, it's tilting, No, no! Oh no, it's coming back down. Okay, so the balloon flies, which is great.
Awesome.
The problem is it turns over in the air.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And if it turns upside down, then all the hot air comes out and it doesn't fly anymore.
I was thinking next time if we make it bigger, what if we had a little weight at the bottom just to keep it stable?
Oh yeah, okay, I've seen balloons that have sort of an X, like a very light wood that goes across the opening at the bottom.
Oh, cool.
Maybe we could tie a piece of rope to that to keep it weighted. And if the bottom is heavier, then it won't flip over upside down, right?
Love that idea.
So we're gonna weight it at the bottom with a little X so that it doesn't flip over. And we're gonna make a bigger balloon.
We're gonna need more bags.
Oh, right, back to the bag store.
Bag store.
Okay.
Wait for me.
Being a chef is my absolute passion, and cooking up science recipes is my speciality. I'm Buster Beaker, and this is Cooking with Science. Strange. This spoon is no sharper than it was before. Oh, hello. Welcome to Cooking with Science. I'm Buster Beaker, and today we're cooking with coal. Today we're going to learn how to make a drink cool. Look at this bottle of lemonade. It's warm right now and not very refreshing. So what's the best way to cool this down? We put it in ice, right? But did you know there's an even better recipe than ice? You can make ice colder. It's true. All you need to do is add salt. I've got a second bowl of ice and a second jug of lemonade, and I've got 2 digital thermometers. What I'm going to do is add salt to this bowl. What the salt does is starts to melt the ice, and that actually consumes heat. This is called an endothermic reaction, and it absorbs heat, which makes the ice colder. And as you can see, this bowl of ice still sitting at around 0 degrees Celsius, but this bowl, -8 and falling. Wow. So there you have it, making something even colder than ice would normally make it. That is a way to make a refreshing glass of lemonade. I'm Buster Beaker, and thank you for joining me on Cooking with Science.
With our new heater and lighter materials, our hot air balloon was floating free. That is, until it tipped over. When that happens, all the hot air inside escapes. But Michaela and I have a solution. So we decided to build an even bigger hot air balloon and add a way to keep it upright.
So the process, aside from that, is pretty much the same. We put the end over top of our industrial heater, and I will plug it in.
Get that hair dryer again for good measure.
It's working, it's inflating, but we gotta keep fluffing it up, otherwise it just sort of sags. But you can see the top of the balloon is definitely working. It's a lot bigger than the last one, though. Do you think we made it too big, Michaela?
It's really big. I think it's working.
It's definitely working. Uh-oh, pull your side.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's totally working. I'm so surprised that this works so well. So the stick is gonna keep it balanced so the bottom faces down, but Michaela's gonna tie a string to the stick so that when it goes up, we can keep it centered. Okay, this looks good. You wanna let it go?
Yeah, are we ready?
Okay.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Whoa!
Yeah! So let's recap. The hotter air inside the balloon is less dense than the colder air on the outside. And because we were able to get the air hot enough and the balloon light enough, it floats.
Science Max, experiments at large.
Hot air balloon.
Thank you, Michaela.
Awesome.
That was
so cool.
Wait a minute, who has the string?
Oh, no.
Oh no, oh no, oh no! Greetings, Science Maximites. Welcome to Science Max Experiments at Large. My name is Phil, and today we're gonna be looking at water. But water is very heavy, but that's okay because we need it to be heavy for this experiment to work. I don't know if I need that much of it though. Maybe I can get, here we go. Yeah, that's probably all I need. Today, we're going to be building a water-powered car.
You'll need a base for your car, like this styrofoam, water bottles, shish kebab skewers, straws, scissors, elastics, paper plates, tape, a square of paper towel, modeling clay, vinegar, baking soda, water, and glue or a hot glue gun if you have an adult to help you, and... yeah, I know, this one is pretty involved. That's why you should go to the website for step-by-step instructions. Take your paper plates and glue 2 together to make a wheel. Then make 3 more. Wrap elastics around your base and then tape straws on the bottom.
Trim them down, maybe about that much.
Then take your shish kebab skewers and push it through a water bottle cap to make a hole. Then stick one wheel on, put the skewer through the straw, and
Do the same thing on the other 3 sides.
Then take the water bottle cap and get an adult to help you make a perfect hole in it so that it fits your straw. Then use some modeling clay and hot glue to seal the straw and the cap so it's airtight. Attach the water bottle to the base of your car, then fill it with some water and vinegar. Next, you'll want to wrap up a spoonful of baking soda in the square of paper towel so you can make a little package. Finally, stick something underneath the underside of the bottle to raise the end up off the base.
Bring your cap and then go outside.
Here we are outside. Yeah, I know, we're not really outside, but I have a science lab and you probably don't, so I highly recommend you do this outside. And don't forget your safety glasses. Now, this is why we make a little packet of baking soda, because we want to delay this reaction as long as we can. So I like to hold it there. We'll hold it there with one finger so I can get the cap ready, because we don't want it to react until we can get the cap on, and then kink the straw to keep the pressure inside till we're ready to let it go. Then at the last second, you want to drop that packet in and quickly cap it and kink the straw. And woohoo! Woohoo! There you go, a water-powered car. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Phil, wait a minute, that's a vinegar and baking soda-powered car. Well, kind of. The vinegar and baking soda create a gas, and that gas creates pressure in the bottle, and that pressure forces the water out of the bottle. But it's the water leaving the bottle that creates the thrust. The water going that way pushes the car that way. Newton's third law, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So what we're gonna do is max out the water-powered car. Figure out how to get water going that way so we can go that way. But we means me and someone else. Who can help me? Oh, I know, Anthony from the Ontario Science Centre. He'd be great at this. Hopefully he's not busy. We're gonna max out the water-powered car. Anthony! Phil, sorry about that. Did I scare you?
Don't worry about it.
How you doing?
Awesome, thanks.
Great. I was wondering if I could get your help on an experiment.
Yeah, okay. Which one?
I'm building a water-powered car. It's gonna be great. It's Science and Max headquarters. I'll show you.
Phil?
Anthony, I'm here.
Whoa. Phil, where are we?
Oh, this is the parking lot for Science Max headquarters. So,
okay.
Today, I want to max out the water car.
This thing is awesome.
Yeah, so what you do is you use vinegar and baking soda, and you pressurize this container, and the water shoots out that way. So the car goes this way.
Ah, Newton's third law. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction.
Yeah, you know your stuff. This is why you're here. This is because I could really use your help and advice on how to make this bigger.
Okay, so we're gonna need a bigger tank to pressurize. So this, what about something like this?
So we need something that can hold pressure. Do you think this would work?
I don't know if we'd wanna...
And we'd have to put like pressure fittings on the barrel, like cut a hole and weld them on. I don't know if that's...
Something tells me this wouldn't work, so
okay,
we need,
sure. I got some other stuff over there maybe that we could use.
Check this out. Yeah, I think this would work. This would work a lot better.
Well, this is my stand-up wash tub base.
Your what?
So we'll reuse it. Yeah?
Okay, you know what I'm thinking now, though? I know this... The problem is, I think this is like an oil drum, right?
It is. It's an oil tank from a house.
And these things are not built for pressure.
You can get water tanks that you pressurize.
Like hot water heaters, yeah, you can pressurize. They're built for that stuff. You pressurize them in your basement, and then the water travels up to like
the top
your
floor.
shower or something like that.
So all we need to do is get a pressurized water tank.
Okay.
Put water in it, put pressure in it, and put it on wheels. And then we open the valve and it goes, right?
That sounds amazing. All right, let's get to it, man. Okay.
I got some water tanks over here in this corner of the parking lot.
Seriously?
Being a chef is my absolute passion. And cooking up science recipes is my speciality. I'm Buster Beaker, and this is Cooking with Science.
Oh, hello. When you're a professional chef like me, you spend lots of time perfecting the perfect recipes. I know my way around a kitchen, and today I'd like to show you one... That's not the fridge. Oh. Today I'd like to show you one of my favorites. Quail truffle gazpacho cakes on a plate of ice. Beautiful. And here's how to make it. Take some quail, some truffle, and some gazpacho and put it into a cake. Delicious. And here's the interesting part. How to make the plate of ice. Ooh, how did I do it? Well, I tried many different methods, and none were very successful. But now I let science do the work for me. So here's what I do. You see, I've got my large block of ice, and I've got a fishing line over the top, and on the bottom, I've got 2 heavy weights. Now we wait.
The heavy weights put pressure on the fishing line. This pressure melts the ice where it's pressing down. As the ice melts, the fishing line moves through the block of ice and eventually cuts its way through.
There we are. My hours of waiting have almost paid off. You see, I've got a perfect line through the ice, and I stopped it just before it finished. It's the pressure of the line on the ice that makes it work. The same thing happens when you use ice skates. You see, it's a very thin line, and your body weight presses down on the ice, melts it a bit, and that allows you to glide across the ice. It also allows me to just
pop this off. There you are, you see? Perfect plate of ice to put my delicacy on. Let's just try that now. There we So I've joined Anthony and we're going to max out our water-powered car. Our small design works by creating gas, which creates pressure, which forces the water out of the bottle, creating thrust. Our new plan is to get a water tank, put it on wheels, and put water in it. Then we use an air compressor to pressurize the air inside. When we open the valve, the water is forced out this way, which causes our water car to go that way.
Okay. Haha! So, water car, maxed out version.
Huge.
Water tank.
And filled with lots of water and lots of air. Too. Yeah. Pretty good, right?
Whoa.
It's a lot of it. So,
Did it mess up my hair?
no, you look fine. You look great.
Okay, good.
Now, the only thing left is we just gotta open this valve here, right?
Yeah. You want to do the honors?
Yeah, let's do it, okay.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go!
We open the valve and our pressurized tank moves forward. The air pressure in the tank forces the water out with enough force to move the tank.
Awesome! That was awesome!
That was a great run, yeah.
That was amazing.
So, pressurized water tank on wheels.
Totally worked.
Totally works.
Total success, yeah.
So, because this is Science Max, the only thing we can do now is make it bigger.
Bigger,
right?
exactly,
Okay.
yeah.
So, problem is,
I don't think we're gonna find a tank bigger than this one.
Yeah.
So,
because then it would be too heavy, right?
exactly,
A much
way too
bigger.
heavy. Maybe what we can do is just get a lot more water,
Okay.
and then we find a way to pressurize the water.
Oh, so don't pressurize the whole tank, just the stream of water that's going out
As
of the
it comes
tank.
out, exactly. Something kind of like a fire hose.
A fire hose, right.
So
we take a big container of water,
right?
and I guess we would need a pump.
Yeah, like a pump would be perfect.
So then we suck the water out of the container, put it through the pump to pressurize it, shoot it out of a fire hose.
And then our car goes flying.
Goes flying.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. All right. Amazing.
When water is going fast, it has a lot of force. This is a power washer. It's made for cleaning concrete and wooden decks, but it doesn't use soap and it doesn't use heat. It only uses the power of water. Let's try it out. The power washer creates a stream of water that is moving really fast. It has the force to clean concrete, strip the paint, or even the Science Max logo off wood. But how do I max out the power washer? What's the most ultimate use I can think of? Power washer pumpkin carving! The power of the pressure washer creates a stream of water strong enough to make short work of my pumpkin. Power washers may only shoot water, but they can be dangerous, so don't try this at home. Yeah, science!
The Wizard Academy. All you have to do is demonstrate true magic, and you'll be granted entry.
Send in the next candidate. Oh, no, not Overwhelmo.
Did someone say Overwhelmo?
No, wait, no, next. Oh, not that. Okay, good, okay.
Behold, it is I, Overwhelmo!
Welcome back, Overwhelmo. If you can truly demonstrate magic, you may join the Wizard Academy.
A glass of water! No, wait, that is not the whole trick. Okay, hold on. Okay, and this, a waterproof playing card. I put the card on the glass and flip it upside down, and then I say the magic word. The magic word. And behold, Magic! Yes? Is that it? Yes? Well, it's not magic. It is defying gravity! Nope. The water would fall and the car would fall to the floor. It's not magic. This is magic! No, it's science. Horse feathers! Look, the reason the water doesn't come out is the air at the top of the glass keeps it held in by suction. More air would have to get into this glass to decrease the suction, and because the playing card is keeping a seal on the glass, the suction of the air is holding the weight of the water up. Balderdash! All right, look, let's do a little experiment then, shall we? Let's move the playing card just a little bit from the edge of the glass. You see those bubbles? Yes. That's bad news. Science, not magic. Well, I will return, and then you will see your mind will be melted by the... No, that's not my music. Hold. You will rue the day when... That's not my... Hold. Overwhelm shall return.
Our maxed out water car worked pretty well. Now it's time for something even more maxed out. We start with a giant tank on wheels, we add a pump to pressurize the water, and a fire hose to shoot it out the back. What's more, this version is big enough for me and Anthony to ride.
Water car! So this is the more super improved water car. This tank holds 1,000 liters. And right now it has 720 liters of water.
We have a pump. That's right, our water pump. So the idea is we take the water from this container out through your hose, really pressurized, going really fast that way. Our car goes really fast this way.
All we gotta do is just turn on the pump and we're ready to go.
So we fire up the pump and the water stream comes out really strong. So strong I can barely hold on to it. But even so, there's a problem.
What's going on back there? I got it! Yeah.
Nothing happened.
No, nothing really. Well, something happened. We got wet, but it didn't really.
It's too heavy.
Too heavy.
So you're on it and I'm on it. That's a lot of weight. We don't ride it. That's something.
Yeah.
Also, this is kind of going crazy.
Yeah, because if nobody's holding it, it's just gonna flap around.
So we'll have a brace here.
Yeah.
Shoots it that way, that's good.
And then we'll need, I feel like we'll need something to kind of propel it. Maybe a better propulsion system. Kind of like one of those steamboats.
So we put a big paddle wheel here.
Exactly.
And we aim it, I guess we aim it down.
At the, yeah, exactly.
Like that.
And then
at the paddle wheel, and then the paddle wheel spins, and that propels the car.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
Okay, well, we can do that. Let's do it.
Sounds good,
We'll
yeah.
put it together. You know what? I have a paddle wheel because I had a failed hydroelectric. This is called flyboarding. Wow. Whoa. Powerful jets of water are being shot out from this board at my feet. Whoa.
The engine on the watercraft behind me creates the water pressure, which travels up the hose and through the jets. The force of the water is strong enough that I can use it to fly around. So what's the difference between this and a water car? Well,
We don't have to take that much water with us because it starts in the lake and ends up in the lake. So the only water I have to carry is in the hose that goes up to the platform. Woo-hoo!
Flyboarding is lots of fun, but it takes some practice to get it right. Bouncing on jets of water isn't easy, but I got the hang of it.
It's all due to Newton's third law. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Physics! Woohoo!
Our maxed out water car didn't work so well. The main reason is that much water is heavy, 720 kilograms.
Yeah.
So Anthony and I have a plan. Rather than rely on the force of the water going straight out the hose, we're gonna put a water wheel on the back of the water car. A water wheel works by catching water in the segments of the wheel. The weight of the water on one side of the wheel causes it to start turning. But we're gonna use the weight of the water and the pressure of the water. Hopefully, both combined will be enough force to turn the wheel, which will drive our water car forward. A little construction, and we have it ready to go.
Okay, so here's the latest version of the water car, water wheel. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, there we go.
We try it out, but there's a problem. The trick with the water car is the water itself weighs a lot. Every liter is 1 kilogram, so our 720 liters we start with is way too heavy to get the car moving in the beginning. But as the water gets pumped out, there's a sweet spot where the weight is low enough the water car might move. But then there's only a little water left, so it's a balancing act. We fill it again and see if we can come up with a plan.
Okay, new and improved version, only half full. So the idea this time is because we're starting with it only half full, right?
Yeah.
Then it'll begin to go a little easier because it won't have as much weight as it had the last time we did it. And Phil,
Yeah?
I can't even move this thing.
What?
I think there's too much fuel. There's too much. Yeah, there's no way we can move this. There's no way this is gonna be able to move.
even half full, you
Even
can't
half full,
move
I
it.
think we need less fuel. We gotta get down to like maybe like a quarter or something like that.
The thing is, we ran it from the full tank last time, and it never
never
moved at all.
What if we gave it like a push to kind of help it get over that little bump of energy?
Ah, so give it the first push when it's still got a bunch of water in it. We give it a bit of a push, and then maybe it'll go in its own.
Exactly.
Okay.
Wanna get it
Yeah.
down?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
We start the pump and wait for the amount of water to get to just the right spot. Then we give it a push while it's still kind of heavy to start it moving. Sure enough, that push makes all the difference. The water car is light enough to roll, has some momentum to keep it going, and the force of the water coming out the pump is enough to keep it moving forward on its own.
Still going. All right.
Amazing! Yeah! Look at it, man. This thing worked like a beauty.
It worked all. It went all the way.
Yeah.
Way to go. The water car, finally a success. It was the push.
It was the push. That's all we needed to get it going.
A bit of a push to get it going and a lot less water, and there you go. It totally works. All right, you want to do it again?
Absolutely.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
See you next time on Science Max Experiments at Large.
So much easier to push it without any water inside it.
Greetings, Science Maximites. Welcome to Science Max Experiments at Large. My name is Phil, and today we're going to be looking at the power of magnets. You see, magnets are fun things to experiment with because they are really, they're really interesting. This magnet that I've got here is a neodymium magnet, or a rare earth magnet. It's one of the strongest magnets you can get. A magnet is an object that is attracted to anything that is ferromagnetic, which is iron, nickel, or cobalt. And magnets are interesting because they have two sides. There are two poles. I'd show you, but I can't get the chain off. Hold on one second. Ha-ha. There are two. Oh, no. There are two poles to every magnet, just like the Earth. There is a North Pole and a South Pole. That's right, the Earth is a giant magnet. So, if you take kitchen magnets, you'll find that there's two different poles. I've written north and south on these ones. They don't normally come like that. If you put the north and the south together, they stick. But if you put the north and north or south and south together, they repel. They repel. See, they don't want to go together at all. And you can force them together if you want, but if you do, they will spring away the second you let them go.
But when magnets repel each other, I find that some of the most interesting stuff. Check this out. This is just a small container, and I've got a magnet in here, and I have a loonie attached to it so that it fits nicely in the container like that. For the top, I've attached 2 magnets together, and I have another coin on it. And if you put them in there, I've made sure that the 2 poles repel each other, which means this magnet will just sit there and float. Magnetic levitation. Very interesting. And you can pop the top on that if you want and just carry around a levitating magnet. Now, there's a couple fancier ways you can levitate stuff with magnets. This is just a wooden frame I've made. This is completely not necessary. You can use just about anything in your house. A desk lamp works really well. The important part is I've tied a magnet to the end of this arm here, and this is a bolt, which is attracted to the magnet, but it's got a thread tied to it, so it can't get there. Just far enough that it will actually hang in mid-air. Look at that, it's not attached to anything, it's just being pulled up by the attraction from the magnet. The thing is, as soon as you pull the bolt away far enough, it will lose the attraction and it'll just fall. Very cool. Here's one that's a little bit more complicated, but is also really neat. This one uses disc magnets, which have a circle or a hole in the middle of them here, and you put 2 around a pencil and then 4 more in such a position that you can put the pencil against this wood on the side and it will just levitate on its own. You can even give it a spin. Look at that.
And if you want to make the levitating pencil yourself, there's step-by-step instructions on how to build an easy-peasy version on our website.
Meantime, we are gonna max this out. Magnetic levitation on Science Max Experiments at Large. But you're probably thinking, what are we going to levitate? Well, we're going to levitate meat. At least, that's the plan. That's why I'm going to the Center for Skills Development and Training. Come on.
Okay, who turned out the lights? Ow, what was that? Why is this room so small? And only going down to waist level. This is the weirdest room I've ever been in. Where am I? What's going on?
Hey, Matt.
Hi, Phil.
This is Matt. He's from JobMaster Magnets. Now, you guys use lots of big magnets, right?
That's right, we do.
Awesome. So maybe you could help me max out this.
Wow. You did a great job of building the levitating pencil experiment.
Yeah, so what's going on here exactly?
Well, all magnets have at least a north and a south pole.
Right.
And when you put like poles together, they want to repel.
Oh, okay. So have you ever levitated a person?
Not yet.
Well, let's do it.
All right.
Do you think we can use these?
We can try.
Okay, well, put that one on the ground. And, okay, so north, and I'll put the north one on my foot here. And then if I just step, oh, wait a minute. If I step, stop moving. If I step on the, okay, well, first of all, this magnet keeps sort of moving away from me when I try to push down on it. What do we do? How do we fix this?
Well, we need to keep the magnets in position so that they don't move around when you try to bring them together.
Yeah, because I have to come straight down on it, don't I?
That's right.
So why don't we attach this one to the floor?
Good idea.
And then we'll put a board on this one, and we'll see how it goes.
Perfect.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
This is a magnet. This is a magnet. This is a magnet. This is a shoe. What's the difference? To know that, you have to know your magnets. This is a donut. It does not stick to this magnet. This is a spoon. It sticks to this magnet. These paper clips stick to this magnet. This shoe does not. So what is attracted to magnets? Only things that are ferromagnetic. Here's the difference. Horseshoe, horseshoe magnet. This one is a magnet. This one is not. But the horseshoe sticks to
the horseshoe magnet, because this one's a magnet and this one is ferromagnetic. Only things that are ferromagnetic are attracted to magnets. Things that are not attracted to magnets, they're not ferromagnetic. Plastic, banana, mitten, sandwich, magazine. No, but how do you know? Do you go around the world sticking a magnet to every single thing one at a time? Hey, Ma, I need you to come over. I need to see if you're ferromagnetic. No, ferromagnetic. No, you don't need to do that. First of all, only metals are ferromagnetic. So that eliminates all your clothing, your luncheon meats, your magazines, what have you. Everything that's non-metal, you don't need to worry about. Never mind, Ma, it doesn't matter. But this clock is metal. It doesn't stick. Well, not all metals are ferromagnetic. Mainly just the ones with iron, nickel, or cobalt. And there you have it. Now you know your magnets. I hit the phone on the magnet there. Okay, can you hear me, Ma? Hang up the phone. Hang up the phone, Ma.
My first attempt at levitating had the magnet sliding all over. So the plan is to take the bottom magnet and attach it to a big wooden board so it won't go anywhere. Then attach another plank to the top magnet to make it a little easier to stand on.
Okay, that is definitely attached to the floor. Thank you. All right, now, if I just get this lined up, whoa, look at that. You could totally, oh, wait a minute, totally, it doesn't want to stay put. Oh, wait a minute. They levitate. Come on, levitate. Why doesn't it want to stay? It just doesn't. Should I stand on it? Okay, I'll stand on it. Here we go. And am I levitating?
No.
No. So why isn't this working?
Well, just like your pencil experiment, we need a shaft through the center to hold the magnets in position.
Oh yeah, maybe we could use like a ring magnet.
Yes.
That like we used with the pencil.
Right.
And
we're gonna need stronger magnets.
We're gonna need stronger magnets. Are the ring magnets strong?
Yes, they can be.
Awesome. All right, let's do it.
All right.
Now it's time for a Science Max quiz. Which one of these things do we have magnetism to thank for? Birds flying south in the winter, music, or a sandwich? If you picked A, you're right. Some birds migrate in the spring and fall using the Earth's magnetic field. Many animals can sense the Earth's magnetic field and use it to navigate. Migrating birds fly hundreds or thousands of kilometers north or south when they migrate in the spring and fall. A compass works the same way, by using magnetism to point to the Earth's magnetic North Pole. But if you picked B, music, you're right! Here's some music. The way you're hearing this music is because the musicians recorded their instruments using microphones, which use magnets. And then the signal was translated by a computer and stored on its hard drive, which uses magnets. Then it was broadcast to your TV and comes out your speakers, which use, you guessed it, magnets. And for those of you who said you have magnetism to thank for your sandwich, well, you're right. You see, you'd probably go to the kitchen to make that sandwich, right? Well, I'm guessing you got all of the tasty ingredients from your refrigerator? Well, it works on electricity, which is produced by magnets. And then there's an electric motor in the fridge that circulates the air and keeps it cool. And guess what? Magnets. And finally, the door on your fridge stays closed because the door has magnets. So there you go. You can thank magnetism for birds flying south, music, and your sandwich. It just goes to show, when you're talking about magnets, everybody wins because magnets are everywhere. This has been a Science Max quiz.
Here's an experiment you can do with a bag of water. Take a sharpened pencil and carefully
push it through the bag. If you do it carefully, it won't spill. The reason this works is because the bag is made of polymers, long stretchy chains of molecules, and also because the pressure of the water against the pencil prevents any water from spilling out. Now, we're gonna max it out. This is a very large bag of water, and here I have some very large pencils. You ready? Oh. That's one. That's two. Here we go. Should I go from the bottom? Ta-da! Science! Okay. I know what you want. Like I was saying, science! Turns out trying to balance two repelling magnets on top of each other is pretty much impossible. Here's why. This is a magnet, and here is the magnetic field. It's often drawn with lines like this, but actually the magnetic field radiates out in all directions. Really, think of the magnetic field kind of like a ball. When you try to balance another magnet on top of the first magnet, it's about as hard as balancing one ball on top of another ball. So here's the plan. Just like the levitating pencil, we're going to use ring magnets because we can put a shaft through the center of one ring, then drop another ring magnet on the shaft. It will keep them perfectly aligned. Then it's just a matter of putting the bottom magnet on a board to keep it stable and using another board so I can stand on it, and ta-da! Magnetic levitation! Or at least that's the plan. Okay. Board.
Magnets.
Magnets. Ooh, look at that. Awesome. And now I'm gonna put the platform on. Nice. I got some weights here. Let's see how this works. Yeah. This is gonna work amazing. All right, think I should try it?
Give it a try.
Okay. Here we go. Yeah! I'm doing it! I'm levitating! What?
Just a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, yeah, what do we do?
We need more power.
More power? I like that idea. How do we give it more power?
More shafts, more magnets.
Okay, sure. Well, why don't we do 1, 2, 3, 4 shafts, and then we'll have magnets on all the shafts.
Great idea.
All right. Let's do it. If you attach something ferromagnetic like this washer to a magnet, not only does it stick, but the magnetic field travels down the metal, making it a magnet too, which means you can stick more and more things to each other, and they will continue to stick until you run out of magnetic field. You can do this yourself at home with anything ferromagnetic. Paper clips work pretty well, or washers like I have, or screws or bolts, and they'll continue to stick to each other as long as the magnetic field is strong enough. You can see it's getting pretty weak here, and they'll all stay magnetized as long as the first one is still attached to the magnet. But if you want to go even further, all you need to do is keep adding more magnets to reinforce the magnetic field. I've got a few here, like this. Get the chain started, like that. And then I've got a magnet attached to this washer, so it will keep the magnetic field strong. And I continue to add one magnet, one washer, and we'll just see how far I can go. You can even sculpt it a little bit. Look at that. And then at the end, a whole bunch of paper clips. Eventually, the weight will make it fall off, but it's a lot of fun to play with magnets and make art. Speaking of art you can make with magnets, you can also make sculptures. When everything sticks to everything else,
you can make some pretty fancy designs. This is a rare earth magnet, a very strong one, and a bunch of nuts that I've gotten. And this one here is an electromagnet, but electromagnets are a little different because they need an electric current to work. Check this out. This is sort of a magnet dude with crazy hair. There's an earth magnet here, and this is a giant screw, and these are some metal bits, and then I've got 2 more magnets at the top here to hold on his crazy wire hair. He's got crazy wire hair because he's crazy magnet dude. Now, of course, we couldn't just talk about magnetic sculptures without maxing it out, so let's max it out. This is a bunch of scrap metal from leftover experiments, and I've got a bunch of rare earth magnets, and now I'm gonna max out a magnet sculpture. Let's see. There you go, a maxed out magnet, me! I made this guy out of metal pipes with earth magnets in between, and these are his arms attached, of course, with magnets. His hand, his little metal pieces attached with magnet. Steel wool for the hair, and of course, hat, non-magnetic. All right, here we go, ready? Want to see a magic trick? Simple copper tube. Drop things through it. Nothing unusual happens, but watch when I drop a magnet through. What? It's not magic, it's science. Because the magnet creates a magnetic field, when it goes through the tube, the magnetic field repels the magnet upwards. Now, the field isn't perfect, so the magnet doesn't come to a stop, but still, it slows down from a fall to a nice, graceful drop. Take a look from above. Pretty amazing, right? Magnets. Not magic, science.
So I've managed to levitate on some magnets, but just barely. What Matt and I needed was more power. So instead of having one shaft and one pair of ring magnets, we're going to use a larger board and put a shaft on each corner. Then we'll have 4 times the power because we're using 4 times the magnets. Hopefully this will be strong enough to get me floating on a cushion of magnetic energy.
And magnets?
Magnets.
Okay, here we go. This is gonna work great. And top board. Ooh, what do you think?
Looks great.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Matt?
You're levitating.
I'm levitating! Woohoo! All right. It feels cool. It sort of feels like surfing a little bit. All right, thank you so much, Matt. That was amazing. And there you have it. Science Max, experiments at large, magnetic levitation. You know, I'm surprised we could do an entire episode on magnets, and we never actually got them so close to the camera that the camera went all weird, because cameras and magnets, they don't, oh dear. No, that's okay. I can fix this. If I just maybe, maybe if I put the magnet to the camera again, that would, okay, that's not, that didn't help. Oh, okay, well, thanks very much for watching Science Max, Experiments at Large, and we'll see you again as soon as we get into the camera.